And we are back, rocking and rolling here at Waffleboard Breaks. How's everybody doing? I'm sure you're enjoying the games, no matter where you are. Tons of good games on tonight. Bolts just started with the 9:30 start. A couple late games tonight too, so there'll definitely be some viewing pleasures after we get done. Obviously, TNT national broadcasts. Bolts in the Wild tonight. We got the Sharks and the Canadians at 10, and the Abs back-to-back game for them against the Ducks. So definitely get to the late games once we're done breaking. A lot of games pretty much in the second and third right now. Obviously, the first final, the Bruins took out the Pens 2-1. Obviously, we have playoff implications pretty much everywhere across the board. It's going to be a packed schedule, from here on out. So obviously, we have under 30 games for every team, usually mid 20s, I think, for most of the teams. So obviously, a couple teams have extras. I think the Bolts are one of the teams that has a couple games in hand. But of course, it's going to matter for seedings as we get closer. Some of our routine playoff teams are going to be bounced before the playoffs even start. Buffalo is hanging on. I think they're up today, right? They're up 3-2 on Vegas. Buffalo's played great out of the break. So like you said, there's no question. Pittsburgh was also another team that's been playing well. Obviously, Boston's one of those teams you got to beware towards the end of the season because they're tried and tested franchise, and they're going to try to make a run to make some noise. Washington's down 3-2 to Utah. No Big Al tonight. That's probably he's at the game, I'm imagining. I'm not sure if that's a home game for Utah, but wherever he is, he does not have a spot tonight. So good luck to everybody. We got a pretty good crowd. I think we got 12 or 13 different people in with spots. We got James M's got some up 3-2. Oh, McLeod at the post. I said, yeah, that game's late. What's it down to the last 5 minutes, I guess, no, that's the Columbus Nashville game, the Buffalo game. Where's the Buffalo game? Buffalo score. Under 3 minutes. The Vegas Golden Knights. Obviously, Vegas is one of the best teams in the league. Obviously, out west. Buffalo. These are kind of measuring sticks for how good Buffalo really is. Yeah, so we'll see. Obviously, Buffalo is going to hopefully close that out. Like I said, UPL has been playing great. Obviously, they got talent across the board. Tage Thompson may be a bit of a perimeter player, but he's uber talented. He's got 30-something goals. He's not going to get down in 30, even though he has the size, but he's got a lethal shot. Obviously, the defensemen, they're pretty stacked across the board. Rasmus Dahlin is a superstar in the making. Finally, elevating his game, captain of the team. Owen Power is pretty much everything you need from a defenseman in the league. Another big young guy in net, first overall pick. Plays the position well. Lions in the net tonight. Yeah, UPL, I think, played yesterday or the day before. So, so they're having – a lot of teams have gone to that the two-man, two-headed goaltending situation, and it works for them. Obviously, it works, well for, when a guy gets dinged up, your other guy gets in the plays a couple in a row, but, pretty much going back and forth. That's what a lot of teams have done. Of course, you got your horses that are going to play the majority of their game. Your Bobrovskis, of course, the Vasilevsky. Now Igor's back with the Rangers. See if they can make some noise in the East. Otter, of course, in Dallas. Even though I think Casey DeSmith, I think, is playing today for Dallas. So, like I said, those teams. You want to keep your goalies healthy because you're going to need them to play tons down the run. Devils righted themselves. Beat the Panthers, I think 5-1 tonight. Obviously, Winnipeg is not looking good going forward. Obviously, they're tied with the Hawks tonight, 1-1. Like I said, and then Ottawa's up 2-1 on the Oil. So that's early in that game, of course, and the Bolts just started. So like I said, lots of good games on tonight. We'll be watching. Hopefully, you're watching wherever you are. After we get done, just one box tonight. We're 1-34 box odds tonight. 7 straight home games. Yeah, I know the schedule was kind of weird for some teams. I think Tampa's kind of on the road for most of the beginning of March. I think they're kind of in the stretch now because they're behind in games, but they tend to all be lumped together right now in a road stretch. But like I said, they've always played well away. They played great the Amelie, but they've always been a solid road team. So we'll see if they can continue. Obviously, it was good for them to get some points up in the division. Obviously, Detroit's been amazing, and they lost. I think yesterday they lost. So yeah, they're another team that's trying to step up, be back into the playoffs. They're talking the 3 longest playoff droughts in the league are most likely going to come to an end this year. So that's pretty cool across the board. Like I said, I mean, not quite parity, even though the teams are kind of bunched. The once we get to the playoffs, you kind of sees who the real teams are. But at least teams are in it. There's no throwaway games right now. All these teams are kind of fighting for either positioning or making a run for the last 3 playoff spots in whatever conference you're in. There's not too many teams that are kind of done, so it's fun. Like I said, make sure you get a chance to watch if you have time. Watch the West Coast games. Obviously, Sharks are a fun team to watch. They've been playing well. Some of the best players, young players in the league. Obviously, Celebrini was on the world stage and impressed. I think he was second or third on the team in points. For Canada, I think second actually behind McDavid. So got those games to watch. It's good to watch great talent. Whether or not you're a fan of the team, I just enjoy watching good hockey. I mean, even bad hockey is good hockey to me, but seeing amazing players shine, it's just a chance, obviously, before the playoffs start. It's good to familiarize yourself with some of the players you may not see very often. So that's going to be fun. But tonight, just one box tonight. Same spot prices for Thursday, no matter whatever hits tonight. It'll be 1-33 box odds on Thursday, 1-34 tonight. Thank you, everybody, for the fill. Obviously, Carl Z swooped in at the end to close us. Looking for the close emoji. Oh, Sabres will win. Break up the swords. Break up the swords. Buffalo, I'm telling you, no joke. Who would have thought that in the state of New York, the Rangers would be the worst team by far? With the Islanders are reborn again with Matthew Schaefer, 20 goals now, trying to head for that Brian Leetch record of 23. I think he's tied right now with a couple people. He's tied with Dion Phaneuf. I think he had 20 as a rookie out in Calgary, and somebody else had 20 as well. So obviously, the kid's got legs. He's getting shots on net, and they're going in. So it's definitely it's a nice chance to see the future of the NHL by seeing players like him. Obviously, Sorokin, they got talking about Vezina Trophy and that. I'm not sure if he's better than some of the other goalies I've watched, but obviously he's the reason that one of the reasons that the Islanders are kind of reborn right now. But like I said, it's fun to watch them. Of course, the Sabres are back. They're here finally. After picking high so many years in a row, for a decade, they were the top 5 picks, including number 1 overall with a couple with Power and Dahlin, number 2 with Eichel. Obviously in top 5, with Reinhardt, but it looks like they put together a team, made some good moves. Obviously they lost some guys that are playing well elsewhere, one elsewhere, but at the same time, you gotta to fit into your system, and it starts to click and the guys start to mature. You need the goalies to kind of help you out. But like I said, Buffalo's fun. It's fun when they're good. Buffalo's getting closer. Oh, Robert Thomas coming from St. Louis. St. Louis, I guess, is kind of going to sell mode. I heard Bennington talk. Obviously, Robert Thomas. I think they have Justin Falk on defense. Players that are either in expiring contracts or teams can see them as the boost they need to make a run. Robert Thomas is a good fit. I mean, that would be a good pickup for them. He's a great young talent still with St. Louis. Obviously, Bennington is obviously the Olympic goalie, won the 4 nations and lost in overtime to the U.S. So, I mean, these are players that teams think that may help them. Obviously, I don't know if a team in the playoff hunt right now needs a starting goalie, but obviously you can make him part of your rotation. He's proved that he can play in the big games. Obviously, we won Cup in St. Louis, but like I said, it's smart for St. Louis to kind of shed the salary and kind of grab some picture young players. Obviously, they have players that could be enticing to teams looking to make runs. So, but we'll see. Like I said, obviously, do I have any blues on the way in here? I'm not sure. Like I said, I've always tried to grab blues. You don't see tons of blue stuff secondary market, and the ones we've had have been hit pretty fast when we've had them in there. So I'm looking at anything right now. I'm trying to see if I have anything on deck blues wise, but been doing well picking up stuff lately. I have like either in house already or on the way, like 14 or 15 jerseys. I'm looking to add a couple more before the end of the week into the middle of next week. So yeah, I should have 16 for the reload. Got a couple out of JSA waiting to get back from them. I got backups of like 3 or 4 jerseys that are in boxes, either variations of or alternate versions of different teams. So I'm ready. I'm ready if you guys hit things that I need you to hit. But at the same time, I'm not rooting for or against anything. You guys have dedicated yourself to some of these spots. Some of you guys haven't hit in a while. Some of you guys are just starting to get a little warmed up on your heaters. But no matter what happens, obviously we don't have our number 1 and number 3 in the room. No Ron tonight, of course, for the midweek stuff. He's number 3 overall, and no number 1, who's Big Al. Of course, CK's in with a couple spots. He grabbed an unsold. He's got a couple spots. So everybody else, good luck tonight. Like I said, we got James M, Carl Z, Daryl L, Thomas M, Greg K, Brett G, NJG, Father Son, Larry V. Who else? Oh, Ty T's in for a spot tonight. Who else we got? We got Nick F. Mike H. with a couple, I think. Mike H. Congratulations. He's actually hit the last jersey. So he's looking to go back to back. I think he was the last of the 2 on Sunday. Who else we got in here? Like I said, CK's in. Who else am I missing? I think that's everybody. So that's, like I said, it's the 12 or 13 owners. Good luck to everybody. Let's see what comes out tonight. So without further ado, let's get the cracking. Good luck, everybody. Said all the jerseys are on the table and the shelves. Obviously, 12 from the reload are on the shelves. And that leaves the 22 on the table. 1 is our oldest, box 70. Of course, 3 and 11 are the 2 from November. And then 13, 3 and 10 from the December reloads. 6 only left from the January reload. And then 12 from the February reload. So good luck, everybody. Let's get to going. What up, Nep? Yeah, like I said, I mean, if they pull it off, like I said, I don't think you want to give up their contributing young players, obviously, but Robert Thomas is a guy, if they want to financially, I think they have a lot of room under the cap, and it definitely would be a smart move if they bring him in. He's somebody that obviously has a little bit more, he's still a younger player, but he still got veteran presence, and that's kind of what they need. Obviously, if you watch Buffalo, I mean, they got guys that can skate, but they definitely, I'm not sure what exactly they're missing to push them over the edge, but it's been a while since we've seen the Swords be good. So it's fun to watch. I like seeing teams, getting back into the playoffs that we haven't seen in a while. Guys like the Ducks, obviously, the Sabres. Like I said, we do have some teams that are making some noise. Teams playing well that haven't been there. Yeah, Kadri, like I said, obviously he had a great couple years, 40 and 30 goals, and I think he's doing like 16 or something right now. But yeah, I would be if they can make that work money wise. I'm not sure. I know we signed big money with Calgary, but Calgary probably should start selling if they're. I mean, obviously they're one of the teams out west that's other than their goalie Dustin Wolf. I'm not sure if they have a lot that they definitely want to keep. So Kadri will probably get moved. Maybe Uyghur. Uyghur's probably going to get moved. He's had a bit down here on the blue line, but he can score. Yeah, Kadri is a guy I think they would love to have back in Colorado, but like I said, Colorado's pretty already stacked forward-wise. Nekkinen's played great for them. Brock Nelson has over 30 goals. Obviously, I watched them yesterday, and they can skate. You watch Makar and McKinnon, they just dance. Nikish has been amazing. He's somebody I think that's coming in one of those coming reloads. Martin, it's good to have him. Not Colorado, it's Carolina, Nikish. But obviously, having Landeskog back is huge for that team. He gives them some life, and he's a little bit of everything. Works great on their top two lines. And obviously, Nichushkin being healthy helps them. So that's, like I said, their top two lines are scary. Devin Taves got his second goal of the year. He's a guy that gets 10 every year, and he only had one this year. And, of course, he played pretty well with the Canadian team. He had a couple, I think 3 points in 6 games for Canada. So he's Makar's partner. And for how you only have one goal playing all the minutes you do on that top pairing is pretty crazy, but he's had a down offensive year. We'll see if he can bounce back down the stretch for them. But like I said, they're a tough team. Obviously, they moved Gerard. They kept Malinsky as one of their younger defensemen. He's in the bottom pairing. But like I said, they're a fun team to watch. If you love hockey, Colorado is a pretty amazing product when they put it all out there. Obviously, their goalies sometimes are going to be question marks, but they play well for them, piling up numbers. Still have the most points, I think, in the league. I think they're number one. So we'll see how it goes down the stretch. So good luck, everybody. Let's do it. Yeah, I would like to see. I would like to see Kadri go back there. That'd be fun for him. Let's also Kadri. I saw Kadri Toronto jersey available recently, but I haven't seen a Kadri one in forever. Obviously, we've had, I think, a Colorado one forever ago. But like I said, these are guys been able to produce pretty much wherever he's landed recently, and he's having a down year. So, but good luck to everybody. Let's get our things up. Oh, there it is. You have one. Okay. Like I said, I mean, Kadri's a great contributor. It's the kind of guy you want on your team. You know, he can play with the top players. And he's got good hands, on the power play stuff. He's going to bury them. But like I said, he's had down here. I think he's only got 16 goals, I think, maybe, which is absolutely absurd for a player that can score like him. Usually doesn't drop off that quickly, so maybe just be in a situation obviously Calgary is not an offensive dynamo. But having Uyghur's numbers down, having Kadri's numbers down does not help them. But we'll see if anybody can make it work with the money, because I think his contract might be prohibitive. But obviously the cap matters more than anything. It's not just pure fantasy with the NHL. So we'll see. Like I said, we got the trading deadline coming up less than a week. And we'll see where the moves are made. So good luck, everybody, tonight. Let's get our dice roll. There we go. Okay, we got 5 or more. Of course, we're going to do with our number. That'll be the box we crack. The numbers are all here in order, all the way up to 80. So 80 is our highest number. 70 was the only number we skipped. And most likely we won't have to skip again, because 3 is our only number close to being lapped right now, other than 70 has been lapped already. So good luck, everybody. 5 or more on a dice roll. Let's do it. 5 or more. 9 times, Mr. Bueller. 9 times. Miss Ben Stein, rest in peace. Here we go. So here we go. 9 times the lists. All of them in order. You guys know your spots. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Here we go. 34 boxes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And Mr. Bueller, 9 times. The box tonight is going to be 77. There it is. In the reload, 9 times. Box 77. The Ray Bork number 77. Paul Coffey, too. Obviously, depending on what team he was with. 9 times. And obviously, Phil Spo, 77. Obviously, 77. 9 times. Let us do it. There we go. Box 77. What do you want to hear? Like I said, I know I've had some Kadris in the past. I got surprised to see a Leaf one recently. I think I even had one of those when Fanatics first got their contract. I think the CCM pitched like a version, which is a lightweight. It was kind of like the jerseys you get at like the boardwalk, and we had one of those in the Kadri. They were just I would hate that. I boxed them up a couple that we had, and I decided to give away a couple I had because it was really the boardwalk version of the Fanatics jerseys. I think they kind of used a couple teams as samples and that they pitched to the NHL. Obviously, Toronto was one of the teams. I think they're mostly Canadian. I think I had Calgary was a couple. I think we saw, but yeah, I haven't seen them in forever. But yeah, the regular it was Toronto, either a Reebok or a Fanatics I saw recently. So maybe I'll grab that. We'll see if he ends up back in Colorado. It'd be interesting to see. So box 77. Oh, he's feeling Nick Ehlers calling the shot. Box 77. Well, so that's 12 boxes in here. Box 77. Okay, here we go. We got some great jerseys in here. Like I said, these haven't been boxed up very long. Box 77. Here we go. Feeling the Ehlers. Let me see. Does he have the Ehlers? No, Nick. Oh, you do have the Ehlers. Trying to think. I was like, is he calling his own shot? He is calling his own shot. We'll see if that comes out. We got a pretty good crowd in this reload. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 10 people, I think, and 10 different people in the 12 boxes. So good luck. Almost everybody is live. Cannot wait to see what comes out. Like I said, this gets us down to 11 from this reload. Just like that. Obviously, you've done pretty well. Went from 16 down to 11 boxes left from the reload. Of course, we'll have 33 total boxes for Thursday. So good luck for everybody tonight. I will get the spot price preview back up very shortly. I'll get upstairs, do the post-break work, and then, of course, I'll end this spot on eBay, and then I get to watching the Bolts tonight. So here we go. Box 77. So let me see. We had box 77. Oh, it is not Nikolai Ehlers, and it is a monster. Boom time. Mikey Mo Reebok All-Star Game jersey. Big time. You want big time? We got big time. One of the greatest American hockey players of all time. Silver paint pen. Mike Modano, Hockey Inc. COA. Obviously, that's not a Hockey Inc. hologram. It's a Mike Modano authentic. Obviously, he has his own authentic company, but it does have a Mike Modano little credit card they used to put in for their Hockey Inc. I don't think there's no card, there's no COA or anything on there. Hologram or sticker like that. Mike Modano, Hockey Inc. Absolutely stunning. Could not wait to see this hit. This is a beaut. Look at this. Boom. Mike Modano. Great silver ink sig. And the 9. Obviously, he took some care on that. Reebok, not just a rip, does not have fight strap, but it's an absolutely gorgeous All-Star Game jersey with the years. I think these years they must have hosted in Montreal. 93, 75, 69. Of course, with the patch on the other sleeve. All-Star Game, Montreal, 2009. Montreal, the Bell Center. All-Star Game. Very, very nice. Congratulations, Mike Modano. All-Star Game jersey with the West logo, of course, and your stars. Reebok. Just an absolutely beautiful jersey. Gorgeous white. It's tough to see the white jerseys. Having this jersey been around, obviously, 15, 16 years, and just absolutely beautiful. It's been cared for. No discolorations, no dirt. Obviously, what are still the tags? Oh, it's still tagged up. I'm not sure how Reebok did with their tags, but I don't think so. But it's obviously not one that's been worn. Absolutely gorgeous. Mike Modano. That goes to Mike Modano tonight, going to Dale C. Boom, big time. There it is. Very nice. Congratulations, Dale, on the Modano. Wasn't sure he was going to be able to grab that. Like I said, I was not able to grab it right away, obviously, but he snagged that. You just beat Jake G with the claim on the Mikey Mo. Congratulations on the Modano. Very, very nice. Couldn't wait to see that come out because I just love that jersey. Deserves not to be sitting in a box for too long. But congratulations on the Modano. Beautifully, fully stitched up Reebok Nice white nameplate, blue stitched up letters. Number 9, All-Star Game West 2009 at the Bell Center in Montreal. Very good. Sorry, of course, for everybody that did not hit tonight. Your odds have gotten better. 1 in 33 on Thursday. So there we go. Of course, same spot prices. I'll take the Madonna off the list and repost that shortly. And I will obviously end the spot on eBay, so that won't be there to be bid on anymore. So see you later. Sorry to see you go, Mikey Mo. But congratulations to Dale on the Madonna. Very, very nice. Obviously, you're starting to go on a heater as well. So stepping right in, grabbing the Madonna, banging, hitting it. So thank you much, everybody. Congratulations. Enjoy the rest of the night games, including the late games that haven't even started yet. And I will see you guys back here on Thursday. So congratulations again. Just a beaut. Love seeing it. Thank you very much, everybody. Waffleboard Breaks is out. Take care, guys.